You have no authority.
You're not gonna fucking tell me what to You're not gonna get in my sheriff's face.
I'm trying to talk with you.
I don't want to talk anymore about it.
Alrighty.
We're not involved here. You're picking them up?
No, I'm involved. Trust me,
Well,
I'm
I'm not
very
going to tell
involved.
you either.
There are some moments where police officers somehow found themselves fighting with each other. On the 13th of January 2024, a dispute occurred between Lexington PD and the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. An officer was told by a county sheriff that there was an armed hostage situation in Lexington. The officer informs his chief and goes to check it out in person.
I'm going to SWAT call out.
Okay, so this Podio, could you do an 85 and a 55?
I was going to
Going where?
SWAT call out.
Where we going?
SWAT call out right over here.
I didn't know we had one.
We have an armed guy barricaded in the house. Used to be a police officer. And
Where at?
right down here on Riverside.
301 next. According to the Cleveland County Sheriff, we have a hostage situation at that location.
Out on the field around the site of concern, a couple of officers and sheriffs get into an argument regarding the jurisdiction issue. The sheriff demands to learn more about the case, but the officers refuse to accept the need to do so. After a few exchanges of words, things started to escalate, and the sheriff, surrounded by his team, begins to be physical towards the officers.
I'd like to know what's going on in my own damn city.
We would have notified you, sir.
We would have?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I've been down there at the PD. According to the call, it says Lexington was notified, they refused to respond because of our call.
Sit down here, guys.
Okay, I don't know who the said that. First of all, sir, I know you're the chief. You're not going to talk to me like that. I'm just telling you what the call says. I don't appreciate all of this going on and nobody notified me a thing about it. Okay. Who you are. Okay. This is my county, too.
Back up, man. Back up. No, you don't.
He just said, what the f***
This is going to be good.
According to the call,
You need to stop.
Lexington PD was notified.
Chill out. Back up. Everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up.
I get it that you're
You can
riled up, dude.
Negative.
But this right here ain't what
We're not going to be disrespectful.
Okay.
Sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir.
You have no authority.
You're not going to tell me what to You're not going to get in my sheriff's face.
you want to do that?
Just like you told me.
Get your hands off me, man.
Back up, John.
Hey, pull him back.
No, he
He's in
just
the
came up
sheriff's
to my
face.
face.
The colleagues and partners on each side got in the middle of the dispute and separated the two so that they could calm down and resolve the fight. That way, the situation was handled. On December 18th, 2023, the Light Horse Police got into a dispute with Okmulgee County jail guards as they were stopped at the jail's entrance by the guards, who refused to let them in. When the jail staff prevented them from entering, one of the policemen tried to forcefully open the electronically locked door.
I'm not taking it with me. You guys are taking them. I'm not taking it. County Central, do not roll my pre-book into Sallyport door.
Well, we can stay here all day.
That's what we're going to do until you take them out of my building.
I'm not taking it.
Sir, we're not taking it.
You're the one committing crime, not
No,
us.
I'm not, sir. I have not accepted him in my facility yet. He is still in your custody.
He's not in my custody.
Please. Open this.
What is happening here? What is going on? Oh my God, this is all because of me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, you better take your hands off of me before you get that whip.
I'm sorry.
While they were arguing over the closed glass window on the door, a jail staff member came and opened the door to go into the room. As this happens, the officer on this side of the door tries to follow him, but he is immediately stopped by the jail staff member. The physical engagement of the staff member upset the police and started to engage in a fight. His team was more upset because the jail staff put his hands on their captain. The incident was cut short by a third person who positioned himself in between the two parties and eased the tension in the room. Even though the verbal exchange didn't immediately stop, the potential escalation of the situation was averted. The mediator then tried to communicate the situation, with both sides trying to settle the dispute. Police Chief Jonathan Hemphill ran into an incident with the officers from Molina, Georgia on August 25, 2022. He was stopped by the officers due to the tinted windows on his vehicle. Yet, being ignorant of the law and the officers' authority, the chief justifies the situation with the blinking blue lights that he had presumed to be the unofficial tag of his profession. The officer then suggested they check it out with their superior and take counsel on how to proceed with the matter at hand.
Well, we're stopping you because it's the window tint violation.
I blinked my blue lights at you to let you know who I was.
Yes, sir. Well, we didn't know with it, that's not a government tag.
That is a unofficial tag. That tag's not even on file.
I said, yeah, well, we have to catch up the bill.
The decision upset Chief Hemphill, and he started waving his ego in front of their faces by suggesting that next time they just sit down and observe while he simply passes. He also mentioned that he was the commanding officer to their current chief at a certain point in time, which he intended to use as a power card to overpower their concerned judgment. As the conversation intensifies, his partner, the other officer, comes to his aid and asks the chief why he intends to be hostile. The chief then turns to the female officer and goes to her disrespectfully, invading her personal space.
I'll let you just sit there. I was just speaking. I'm the police chief in Zebra.
Well, nice to meet you, sir.
Matt Polk worked for me. Your chief worked for me.
Yes, sir. There's no need to get upset.
I'm upset because I spoke to you when I come by, and now you're pulling me over.
Sir, I've never met you a day in my life.
I understand that.
Why are you being hostile? Why are you being hostile right now?
Are y'all gonna write me a ticket? Are you gonna write me a ticket?
Sir, we're just trying.
I'm the police chief in Zebra. You gonna write me a ticket?
Why are you coming up to me like?
Chief Hemphill continues to boss around the officers on duty, this time by signaling the female officer to return to her seat in the vehicle. He then proceeds to call their chief and keeps mouthing inappropriate accusations about the officers. He also continues to verbally belittle the authority of the officers, claiming that he could have just ignored their sirens and passed by to begin with. Also, he refuses to maintain a sound conversation with the officers by constantly going back into his vehicle.
The chief?
Okay.
Ghost tag.
Yes, sir. We're making Yes, sir. Yeah, we're just.
You must have run it wrong. You must have run it wrong because you wouldn't come back with Dodge Ram.
We were confirmed it. They let us know.
So it's still coming back to a Dodge Ram now?
Sir, can I ask why you so upset?
Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram now?
No, we got it fixed. Why are you so upset?
No, you didn't fix it. Is it still coming back to a Dodge Ram right now?
No, it came back now on 5.
That's right, because you run it wrong.
Sir.
Somebody run it wrong. Either you did or they did.
We're about to get the information.
Okay, I got your chief on the phone right now. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Can you calm down for us, please?
I appreciate your service. I appreciate your service.
All right.
I'm just saying, I spoke to you guys. I didn't have to do that. I could have eased on by y'all. I appreciate the job y'all out here doing.
Chief,
I
I'm trying to be
y'all.
respectful with you.
I understand
okay?
that. I understand.
I'm not raising my voice or nothing at you, right?
I understand.
All right, let's.
But I'm trying to tell you, the only
okay?
thing I done wrong was spoke. Y'all never would have pulled me over if I hadn't flicked my blue lights.
No, sir. No, we were going to pull you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you straight up. I'm trying to talk with you.
I don't want to talk anymore about it.
All right. That's very unprofessional.
Later, in reports, Police Chief Matt Polk stated that the accused chief was not given a citation during the stop. However, those who viewed the event on social media described his behavior as rude and disrespectful to authorities. During a routine traffic stop, the daughter of Commissioner Karen Z. Turner of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey was stopped by 2 officers. Her car was seized due to an expired registration, which was late by 2 years, and her driver was not carrying an insurance card on him. Soon after, they were joined by the commissioner, who introduced herself as a friend of the mayor to suggest rank in the chain of command. Leading with that argument, she forces herself into the case.
Valid registration, valid insurance card.
How do they know that this is her car? Like, don't you need to give us a receipt or something? Like, how are they going to know that this one
This is the receipt. This goes on file.
Hi, I'm Karen Turner. Hi, I'm a resident. There you go.
It's fine. I don't need that.
Okay, fine. I'm Karen Turner.
You're just here as the rider, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm here as a concerned citizen and friend of the mayor, and been in Tenafly for 20 years. I take full responsibility for them. And what is the reason they were pulled over?
The driver has all the information. He'll tell you.
No. I need to know.
No, you don't need to know.
Okay.
We're not involved here. You're picking them up.
No. I'm involved. Trust me.
Well, I'm not going
involved.
to tell you. He's the driver of the automobile. He's over 18. That's all you need.
The resilient officers, regardless of her repeated claim that she is the commissioner of the Port Authority, deny her the request she made regarding the reason her daughter's car was pulled over. As the officer announces that the car is supposed to be towed out of there, she then tries to make the matter personal. Resisting harder to push herself into the situation, the commissioner mentions personal matters, such as guests she was supposed to be hosting, and tries to guilt-trip the officers into discussing the case with her.
If you can...
We don't need to see credentials.
Okay. You need
already.
You know, if there's a problem, I think I have...
There's no problem.
Well, I think there's a
It's
problem.
an unregistered vehicle.
Okay, let's hear, why were they pulled over, first of all?
Miss.
Now, don't call me Miss, I'm Commissioner. Thank you.
Commissioner,
Yes.
all due
Why were they
respect.
pulled over?
All due respect.
Yep. Why
The
did
driver
they...
will tell you.
No. I need
Yes,
to know.
ma'am. The car's getting towed now.
Why is the car getting towed?
Go ask him.
No, I'm asking. You're the person
Go ask
who's
him.
ordered it, and trust me.
Miss, this does not involve you 1%.
Yeah, it does, because I'm picking them up, and I'm offering to take responsibility for them, and you can't even tell me the charges. I'm also an attorney, so I think if you can't tell me, what is the problem?
That's fine.
Why is it such a difficulty to say why they're being pulled over and why the car's being towed?
Because everything has already been explained.
I know, but...
The unwavering stand of the officer's refusal to respond to her questions caused her to step up her offense and act in arrogance. As she stepped closer to the officer, he repeatedly told her to take a step back as she was invading his personal space and stated to threaten him with empty threats, claiming to have their information and would go to their superiors to use it against them.
You can describe what the
Take a
problem
step back
is.
from me. I can't move back any farther. I keep moving back farther, and you keep moving closer to me.
Because you can't
Can you take
even
a step back?
put a sentence together
Take a
on what
step
the
back.
problem is.
Because I'm not, because of your demeanor.
No, I
I am
came in
under
very
no
nicely.
legal obligation to tell you.
And I'm under no legal obligation to tell you what I will be doing. I'm very disappointed in the way the two of you are acting. You cannot even tell me, a mother living in Tenafly for 20 years with 2 kids who went through the school system, what the problem is. And that's shocking. It's shocking that you can't even give me a sentence.
I think we should conclude this.
I will.
Just for safety reasons, this is a high-speed road. I think we...
Don't you worry.
As long as you got all the information right.
I got all your information, sweetheart. You can't put a sentence together. That's shameful.
Okay.
That's shameful.
Have a pleasant weekend.
You have a wonderful weekend.
Eventually, the car was towed out of there, and the commissioner was made to step down from her position as commissioner and issue a formal apology video explaining her irresponsible actions that took place that day. Number 5. On June 24th, 2022, a highly heated and potentially hostile event erupted in the middle of a traffic stop between the sheriff of North Georgia County and a Hiwassee police officer as they threatened to arrest one another. This argument was created over the limit of authority of the sergeant, whom the sheriff accused of working outside his jurisdiction.
Out the city or out here?
Just right here.
Okay.
Go pull the video at Valero. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you.
Yeah, I'll arrest you right now.
Do it, buddy.
And we're going to
do it.
Charges against your ignorance.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at Valero and there's cameras at Napa that sees me pulled out.
Shut your mouth.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, boy. You a boy.
Thank you.
In the middle of the argument, inappropriate cursing and immoral phrases were used as the two law enforcers were engaged in a heated argument as they constantly threatened each other to arrest one another. This raised the intensity of the situation as the driver, who was stopped by the police officer, sat there silently watching the growing debate. The sheriff, on top of the repeated threats and insults that came out of his mouth, shared a sort of complaint he had noticed regarding the behaviors of the sergeant's fellow officers. He said that he had noticed them frequently acting outside of their jurisdiction, and that this too was the same kind of foul made by this officer. Unable to resist the baseless accusations of the sheriff, the police officer angrily retreats to his vehicle, mouthing a sarcastic gratitude towards the sheriff.
Thank you! Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Count 302, status check.
Info. Mother.
The unfortunate event that led to all the drama in the street finally tossed light of other major investigations that needed to be made on the sheriff. since his behavior on camera was utterly unprofessional and disrespectful to the law enforcing officer who bore the body cam. Number 6. Another story of police detention unfolds in Collin County, Texas, as a detention officer, Tyler Moody, is accused of cooperating with prisoners in the detention center where he works. Detention officer Tyler was caught bringing a cell phone and a charger into the detention center to deliver to an inmate. He was asked to offer his resignation by the sheriff.
Moody, I understand that you've offered your resignation. Is that correct?
Can I get fired?
Have you offered your resignation or not?
If I can keep my job, then no.
Well, you can't keep your job, okay? So let me just make it easy. You're fired. You're no longer an employee here.
The sheriff kept on explaining the extent of the officer's crimes by mentioning how he had betrayed the trust of every citizen that he had initially vowed to serve, and that he had betrayed the trust and loyalty of his fellow male and female officers, alongside whom he served in the detention center for nearly 3 years. The sheriff also mentions the accounts of his incrimination, namely bringing a prohibited item into a correction facility, which was a third-degree felony.
You betrayed the trust of every citizen that we have the privilege to serve, and you betrayed the trust of the brave and selfless men and women that you worked alongside for nearly 3 years. So as of this moment, you're under arrest for bringing a prohibited item, a cell phone, into a correctional facility. That's a third-degree felony. You have any questions about that?
He was then stripped of his uniform, which the sheriff specifically pointed out that he was not worthy of wearing, and cuffed as he was arrested on the spot. It was decided that he would be detained in the same correction facility where he had been working for the past 3 years, and the same center where he committed the crime. Number 7. On the 14th of June 2022, in Joshua, Texas, a case of alleged racial profiling was captured with the body cam of a disabled veteran who was rudely discriminated against by 2 officers regarding a parking spot reserved for disabled drivers. This offense was on a Black Police Academy graduate who was confronted by fellow officers while he was trying to park his vehicle in a handicapped spot. He was asked by them to show his identification when he had a disabled veteran DV plate, which authorized him to park in disabled parking spots.
Can we see some ID?
No, what for?
I just asked you.
What's your probable cause to ask me for ID?
It does not have a handicap placard.
Read the plate, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. DV, that's disabled veteran plate. We can park in handicapped spots.
Upset by the unreasonable request of the officers to produce an identification, the Police Academy graduates suggest they contact T. Cole, short for Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, or simply run the plate in their database to see the registration of the vehicle and the identity of the fellow officer.
Contact T. Cole. Why don't you contact them? You saw my name, call T. Cole.
He then proceeds to explain that the officers who inappropriately confronted him had no justification of probable cause to run up on him as they did. He also refused to answer any of the questions that were directed to him by the officers. But this was not it. The dispute escalated when another officer showed up on the scene, asking him to go over to him and get into his car for a bit. Offended by this request, the graduated officer refuses to cooperate and asks if he's being detained. The officer continued to explain that the law had been updated and that he was not allowed to park at that spot, according to the new update. The debate escalated.
Run it. Call T. Cole. But you have no justification of probable cause to run up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was the academy director when you were there?
Contact them.
Who is it?
Ask him. Navarro College, call him.
Well, the reason I did that,
call him.
I know they just graduated.
Call him. You could have done all of that. You could have done all of that while I was inside.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. I know about Joshua PD. I know. Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
When'd you graduate?
I don't have to tell you anything. Don't ask me any questions because I'm not answering. Why? You detaining me?
I don't want
you get hit by a car, just no. Then my question is, are you detaining me?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so then don't tell me where to go. No.
My sergeant asked me to come over here, so I just
Okay, well, you need to find out because I'm going to walk away from you, get in my car, and drive away. So you need to find out from him.
Okay. Do you mind holding off on leaving until I find out what's going on to see if you ask him? Because that's my captain. He's in charge of this.
He's not too smart because first of all, even you know, if I have disabled veteran plate, I can park in a handicapped.
The conversation climbed in altitude when the fresh officer brought up the topic of racial discrimination, which he mentioned as a cliche in the area where the dispute occurred.
He saw this, and he wanted to make a problem. That's your reputation there, Joshua. Come on, man. Yes, it is. How many black officers you got? One.
Yeah, we don't have one right now.
One.
Yeah,
I know. And you barely let him in. You barely let him in. And your reputation is already bad. From years ago, you had a corruption scandal. You had to get rid of a lot of your PDs.
That was way before I got here.
And you got one amongst your ranks.
The dispute was concluded as the T-Cole confirmation came back affirmative for the fellow graduate. The offending officers who created the inconvenience were disciplined, and the captain on scene was removed from his responsibilities by his superior. Number 8. A story of extreme racial profiling takes place out in public as 2 Rochester Police Department officers try to arrest a black man sitting outside a cafe on the claim that he fit the description of a suspect in an ongoing investigation. Despite his repeated explanation that they were wrongly making an arrest, the officers started to engage physically.
You're harassing me. Yes, you are. No. He's harassing me. Why are you harassing me? You're assuming I'm someone I'm not.
Okay, if you're not, then
No.
you're not free to go. Okay.
Am I being detained?
Yeah, you are.
For what?
Because I think you have more.
You think?
Yeah.
That's an illusion. That's an illusion. You think?
All right. Stand up for your hands, man.
I'm not. For what? I don't have a warrant. You're very wrong.
Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No, you are wrong. What do you mean if you're wrong? You're wrong. You're wrong.
The man requests the terms of his arrest while they keep pulling his hands and attempting to cuff him up. While he has no reply from them, he goes on and states that they have the wrong guy, and also that he'd be suing all who were involved in this incident. Triggered by this, the officers forcefully take him and cuff him up, even as people around him claim they have the wrong guy. Amid the dispute, one of the officers pulls out his identification to learn the dreadful news of the evening. The man they blindly started to work up was an FBI agent who was off duty.
What? For what? Can you tell me for what? For what? I'm under arrest for what? No. If you got the wrong guy, I'm suing all of you guys. Hey, yo. Hey, officer. Listen. No. Go ahead. Matter of fact, look at my ID.
He got the wrong guy, I'm telling you.
Look at my ID, motherfucker. Oh, what does that say? What does that say? Oh.
Wrong guy.
Oh.
Wrong guy.
Oh my God. No, off me, dude. Get off me, dude.
Bro, you
Matter of fact, I need your cards. I need your supervisor over here. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor over here. You guys are the stupidest I ever met in my life. How'd you guys? What the is wrong with you guys?
Look at
Following this realization, the FBI agent demands that he talk to their supervisors and that he needs the ID of all 3 officers involved in the racial profiling, which led to the wrongful arrest of the agent.
So, I need their cards, I need your card, I need your card, I need your supervisor. No, yes, I request your supervisor.
After boldly criticizing the ignorant officers for their irresponsible and unprofessional actions that evening, the FBI agent walks away with his friends with the full documentation of the tape that captured the whole process of wrongful arrest based on irrational racial discrimination and profiling. We thank you for staying with us till the end. For more information and somewhat entertaining clips such as these, follow us by subscribing to the channel.